Hello. Hope all is well and everyone's having a fantastic day, getting prepared for the festive holiday season. Today we're going to have a quick review, so we're going to get into starting to do more project reviews. We've seen of late the emergence, and I called it in the last video I did, the layer 1 renaissance, right? We're starting to see a lot of these layer 1 projects starting to gain traction again. So we've seen that this seems to be an area to really start to take a look at and really double down in terms of due diligence. One of the projects that springs to mind that's of interest that I've spent some time reading up about is essentially a project called Layer N. So basically Layer N is a layer 1 blockchain that's designed from the ground up to support applications and horizontal scalability. So clearly with layer 1, focus is always about scalability, transactions per second. How can you be able to scale, to ensure that there's no friction? And as I mentioned here, with a zero congestion in terms of the single bottleneck, virtual machine agnostic. So N1 places no constraint on execution environment. So not only snarks, but also consensus proofs, which is really, really important. Scalability regarding sharded data availability built in. Each app operates independently of other apps. So what you tend to have sometimes is you have some of these data availability platforms or ecosystems or blockchains that really tend to coexist and intertwine within each other. But here it's saying that it's going to essentially operate independently, which is obviously very promising. And here it gives you more information regarding for users in terms of the value proposition. So designed not only for most powerful playground for developers, but also blockchain with a focus on enabling magical user experiences. You've seen some blockchains that are really heavily focused on developers, but there's been a lack of traction in terms of the scale, and also really just from a visual perspective. What tends to happen is in order for growth to occur, i.e. more users within the ecosystem, more wallets that are being created, transactions that's taken place, and then hence increased volume, you need to have users, right? So you cannot just be solely focused in a silo of developers. So it seems that they really understand the context of this and things that they're really looking at. I will add a lot of this information in the description, so I'm not going to really go deep into all of this because we'll be here forever. But it basically goes down from it goes to the protocol level and understanding about the settlement layer, what the aim to achieve, so minimum necessary functionality to host execution environments and ensure data availability. Then it goes through what it actually done. Execution level, it gives you a breakdown of the apps that I mentioned, which are essentially coexisting but independently. And then the Gate app, they call it, is a special program that handles bridging assets from L1 and routing them to the correct app in L2. So what you seem to have here is the Gate is really handling those assets that's taken place and then routing it and identifying which app is going to essentially connect to on the layer 2, which is quite interesting. Transaction lifecycle, it just goes through the whole process in terms of the life cycle of deposits and withdrawals, so things you need to look at here. Roadmap, which is really, really crucial. It's always important, especially as an investor, especially as someone that you're interested in new projects. You have to understand what is that timeline, right? So not only understanding about the roadmap in terms of what they're going to achieve, is it realistic, number one? And number two, have they built something thus far that breeds you with confidence that you can see that they can be able to execute based on these roadmaps? You have some projects that will just give you this, audacious goals, but they never really achieve it. So practice what you preach, have some substance behind that long-term goals. So here it says, building the execution layer with the TypeScript and Rust-based smart contracts, enforced thanks to Jitto's NCN network, and then obviously fraud proofs here, enabling verifying data availability proofs and open up the network to challenges to the state transition. V2 version is the network moves onto our networks. Network moves onto our own network. Data availability and state. So clearly it's not initially going to be within their network, but then the V2 version will be their own network. Operators are now able to use the layer 1 to create state transitions. V3, everything is moved over to our network. So clearly there's going to be a timeline of where this whole, let's say the mainnet really takes place. And then you can be able to find out more information. There is also a breakdown regarding in DocuSign. I also added a description about the light paper. So it'd be good to really spend some time to really understand the dynamics in terms of what they want to achieve about the settlement layer. What's also provides some really support in terms of the bullishness of this project is that they raised $5 million from Peter Thiel's Founders Fund. So he has one of the most significant, most successful funds of all times. Peter Thiel was an early investor in Facebook. He was one of the founders of PayPal. You know, he's played a role in a lot of the dynamics, a lot of the narratives that we see within technology, fourth industrial revolution that's taken place thus far. So clearly he's backing something that he feels that there's some strong conviction. This is something not really to underestimate in terms of what this project can actually achieve, which is really good. If you want to find out more, you can actually then go to Crunchbase. You can see that there are 9 investors. You can see the project was founded in 2022, active, and it gives you information about the founder, so you can understand more about what they're trying to achieve, their location, similar companies. So these are the other investors: Spencer Known, Amber Group. I'll have to unlock to be able to get access to more, to be able to see that. Then also, they then came out with news recently that they basically announced this N1 Studios, which is accelerating the next generation of crypto applications. So building the apps that will bring crypto to billions. So it's like a studio or product studio dedicated to building the next wave of crypto applications. So this is cool to take a look and understand more. In terms of the demo, so basically a month ago they deployed the first blockchain to achieve sustained 50,000 plus TPS and sub 1 millisecond latency on mainnet, which is very, very strong here. And what they did is they recorded the visualization of this taking place. So this gives you a breakdown of the mainnet demonstration, and then you can basically see that this is a historical replay of a real demonstration of N1 deployed to mainnet. And then it gives you the performance capabilities achievable with the N1 in actual mainnet environments, not just in testnet. So what you tend to see is a lot of people have the testnet, but they actually have it in the mainnet, showing the demonstration. So the block visualizer clearly sees that's happening from the layer, and then obviously moving over to ETH. Then you see the live transactions that's taken place. You see the TPS transactions per second, as they can see here, it's circa above 50,000 that's taken place. Cumulative transactions, that's here. Average latency sub 1 millisecond, which is phenomenal. Then it gives you more data in terms of the Ethereum, the layer, base layer, and then update state. So I will also add this information description. So spend some time, and then what you then want to do is understand more about the founder, as I mentioned. Know what has the founder done before, thus far. Did he have any projects that he sold, projects that were extremely successful? Were there any challenges? How did he overcome it? Did he burn other investors from previous projects? You know, did he surpass expectations and projects he's built before in terms of roadmap? So understand the people behind. Yes, we can see the project strong. There's a long-term opportunity, but understand the team, understand the founders, what they're trying to achieve. So there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll add these links in description, and have a fantastic day. And we'll be back within the next couple of days or so. Bye-bye.